losing. So I say goodbye to the stereotype. Say I'm walking high. So I pick myself up, head high, I'm up tall with my high heels, leaving blind, tongue-tied. Yeah, I'm grinding and vibing, call all you want, I ain't turning. Yeah, I'm on my way up, I won't stop, I'm on a mission, I'ma wake up, living blind, tongue-tied. Yeah, I'm grinding and vibing, call all you want, I ain't turning. Cause I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Hey, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Yeah. My mind is growing. Look at my skin, it's glowing. See, I am not all-knowing, but I know where I'm going. Pick up your crown, it's falling. You fell a little, but you got it. Show them who you are, give it all you got. Yeah, we're walking high. So I pick myself up, head high, I'm up tall with my high heels, leaving blind, tongue-tied. Yeah, I'm grinding and vibing, call all you want, I ain't turning. Yeah, I'm on my way up, I won't stop, I'm on a mission, I'ma wake up, living blind, tongue-tied. Yeah, I'm grinding and vibing, call all you want, I ain't turning. Cause I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Yeah, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a
manishi nyini wa deep. Hata mkirap mbio manishi nyini wa zi. Mapeste wangu walinitoka, si God alistay. Goliath gapi nimeangusha wananita slay. Kama nyash na knowledge, ni Mungu pekee. Leo jana pia na kesho Mungu yule yule. Sanili data na mapenzi, wakidhani niko chini na kumbe hiyo ni jota. Mambo ya dunia ni mengi, leo unapaa uko juu, kesho chini chini. Nilishashinda depression, siezi dedi, magoti chini mikono juu. Hakuna kama yeye, vitu nachekiwa na daily. Ni new kwangu, ndani ya purpose na direction. Yesu tu ndo njia, I will never lose. No, I will never lose. Yesu anaweza,
anaweza, anaweza Bwana, anaweza, anaweza, anaweza Bwana, anaweza, anaweza, anaweza Bwana, anaweza, anaweza, anaweza Bwana, anaweza.
Mali tumetoka sio siri.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Our radio.
Kaza mwendo si tutawasili. Lord, you have been so good to me. Everything you've done for me. Tukupa sifa kila mwaka, tukinyamaza ni uso wako tunasaka. You know my people, we turn up and there is no going down. Kasi yo wewe ni nani and who are we calling now? Mashida mingi tumepita, hata hii ya kukaa 1 meter. Wanakuita Ebeneza, uko nasi na bado unaweza.
Tenda, neno sema, wewe shindwa maovu tenda. Wewe unanipenda, kweli wewe muweza Baba tenda. Neno sema, wewe shindwa maovu tenda. Wewe unanipenda, Uhanjisa. Whoa. And the beautiful Shani. Mwinda. King.
1,005 songs in
See how I look when you know, see where's it take credit to you do, see your kwangu zangu. God when him true, got a better view, and since I met you, when you nuru yangu. Fact of the matter, see my Christ is the answer. You got me, so I gotta get it. Raise up the banner, make him not forget it. Stop searching for truth on my socials, looking for answers, got promos. Sana jua, there's only one way. Ni yes, only one way. His image in his likeness, yeah. In his image in his likeness, yeah.
Rapping my shit and my God is the biggest out there. I've been feeling the rap with them scriptures all over like, yeah. I know you like it, cause you know Jehovah's son is invited. And every time that he shows up, demons are finished. So there goes my heartfelt condolences to the enemy. I'm seated in heavenly places far beyond this reach. My advocate is Jesus, I'm enjoying immunity. Paid by the blood, restoration by the Father. I'm in the assembly of the firstborn, enrolled in the heavenly places of the dawn. Spirits of the rushes made perfect for God by the blood of the Lamb. Now I walk like him, talk like him, reign with him, and it calls me years. Made in his image, tell me do you see it? Son of the dawn, rapping my city, you heard?
His image in his likeness, yeah. In his image in his likeness, yeah.
Rapping my shit and my God is the biggest out there. I've been feeling the rap with them scriptures all over like, yeah. I know you like it, cause you know Jehovah's son is invited. And every time that he shows up, demons are finished, so done.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Hub First the Week. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing? My name is Caroline Murote, and welcome to Sheversations. If this is your first time here, this is the show that exists to amplify female voices. So if you have a good old story, na tuhusu as creatures with ovaries, because that's the definition that we are. That's the one that we are carrying. It's a story zingine. But anyways, if you have a story for the girlies, you have a story about the girlies, you have a story that is relevant to the girlies, please feel free to reach out to us at Power Radio across all the socials. You can find me at Caroline_Murote on Instagram. I am Caroline Murote on X. On TikTok, I am at Carol Murote. Don't ask me what I've posted there. And on Facebook, I am the same. So yes, welcome to the show. The time is 9 minutes past 11, and we have been ushered into the show by woman Bridget Blue. We also had Anaweza by Muhanji, Mwinda, Chris Arrow, and your Alex and your girl Shani. And right now we just had Monoma by 1,005 songs, a personal fave of mine. We also had Shani on the track and Ward Omolo. So let me know, boys and girls, what is on your playlist? What are you jamming to? Hey, tuliona pale on the Grammys, they awarded Beyonce album of the year for the first time after apparently snubbing her all these times. And the internet is just like, whoa, there's so much being said. And my question is, Do you guys actually understand the behind the scenes of choosing album of the year? Do you actually understand what the selection process looks like? Do you understand why she was awarded that award? Or do you think she was awarded just because she was Beyonce? In fact, she was snubbed, in my personal opinion, all these other years for all the beautiful collections, the beautiful work that she's been doing. She did a thing with Lemonade. She did a thing with what was the name of the other one? Renaissance. She did a thing with the other one that I forgot. And Cowboy Carter was the one. But apparently, Hambaba's Jay-Z had to make a bunch of noise. Like, y'all are being weird. You guys are ignoring my wife. I don't like that. And she was very, very shocked. If you see that footage, she's become a meme. The internet has done what the internet does best. And she has become a meme because she was truly, truly shocked. And the funniest thing was her daughter, Blue Ivy, sitting next to her. And she has a second where she's like, get up, like, go get your award, ma. Like, shida ko api. And Jay-Z just stood up like, yeah, exactly, venye inafaa. And I think she deserves it. And I think there is just so much unwritten history, so much unsung history when it comes to people of color in the South. Just so much, the cowboy shebang. It's not just for the whites, guys. It's not just a Caucasian story. There's a lot of people of color whose stories are not told, who actually emanate from Texas and thereabout. And I think that if you've been following a lot of this awards, history and all of that, then you would realize that sometimes they're not just industry gimmicks. Because after what Kendrick did with Not Like Us, you would... Akuna, there's nothing you can say about that, even if Drake did call him an industry puppet. Yeah, but coming back home, how are we doing with our awards? How are we doing? What are we doing? Because the social media awards that were supposed to happen last year in December, mnakumbuka how the guy took the money and went. And people talking about anybody that's being abducted. Today we're not talking about anybody who has been unalived, whether by... I was going to say by consequence, but by consequence of being Kenyan and choosing to stand up for your rights. Today, we're not singing those songs. Those songs are going to be sung. They're going to be sung, but not today, because today we are shouting out the girlies and we are saying that there is a place in history for African women. First of all, there's men, there's women. So if we're not talking about women, what are we actually doing? Because, where did we come from? Somebody had to squeeze you through in between their legs, had to squeeze you out in order for you to exist. So if those are not the stories we're telling, of the people that have labored so hard for us to exist, then whose stories are we telling anyway? Whose stories are we telling and what are we actually doing? So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be unpacking African women's history. But before we do, we're going to talk about this and that here and there. And when we come back, we're going to get into a little bit of what's been going on. But for now, we are jamming to Different by Bridget Blue, and Fi anatuambia Nico Maju. So enjoy. This is for you, my love.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Niamini, ninataka uwe wangu milele, kabla upate nishakuwa na mwingine. Niambie ni mimi, niambie ni mimi. Sitaki kujua mwingine, sitaki kujua mwingine, sitaki kujua mwingine, sitaki kujua mwingine. Niambie ni mimi. Contemplating my decision on a mission for more.
It's such a challenge, got tight bro balance, but it's worth fighting for.
Niambie, niambie ni mimi, niambie, niambie ni mimi. Sitaki kujua mwingine, sitaki kujua mwingine we, sitaki kujua mwingine, sitaki kujua mwingine we. Niambie, niambie, niambie ni mimi, ni mimi. Niambie, niambie, niambie ni mimi, ni mimi.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
I love you, but my mama doesn't care. I need you, but daddy don't wanna hear. Why did you have to be a criminal? Now we be sailing on a love boat. Maneno yote ulionibana tupilia, labda baadapo nitafikiria. These days your breath is just full of liquor. You gotta make a change or you're gonna lose me too. Laughing out loud cause you want us to see you. Thinking that everybody wanna be you. Talk your stuff, then you go like me too. Baby, we both know that ain't all true. You're living like a dog cause you're trying to be cool. Who the hell said you gotta act like a fool? I don't know about you, but I'd rather be different. Different, I'd rather be different. I'd rather be true loving, my they call it cliche. Your version is funny, you're back in the day. Girls alcoholics, I'm all in your way. Don't make up and suddenly you're ugly. Who the hell said you gotta dress up like them? Life like them, tell like them, that's just the damn game. I call it crap, I call it shit, all kinds of names. You gotta get it, that you gotta be you. Laughing out loud cause you want us to see you. Thinking that everybody wanna be you. Talk your stuff, then you go like me too. Baby, we both know that ain't all true. You're living like a dog cause you're trying to be cool. Who the hell said you gotta act like a fool? I don't know about you, but I'd rather be different. Different, I'd rather be different. I'd rather be different. Different, I'd rather be different. Yeah, I'd rather be different. Oh, yeah. I'd rather be different.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Sikubebanga sweta, kumbe hukuwedhani ngori. But I'ma call you later, tell you all about it. Nina mismo tura, smoky pasua, avocado ya group of schools. Cause it tastes different out here, and I miss you when you're not here. Me really call my jewel, lying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Me really call my jewel, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Yeah, yeah, yeah. handbag imejaa, nimetumwa na watu wengi. To my lover and my sons, I'll be home soon. Nina miss tukilala in the afternoon. After church tukipiti ya Kikuyu. Can't wait to come home and hold you. Mimi niko majuu, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Mimi niko majuu, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Yeah, 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 yeah,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Love ain't nothing like in the movies. Fairy tales left me confused, but don't love make you choose it. Stressful, keep putting your best foot forward. Knees locked, cause you're nervous. Are you really deserving?
from sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Welcome back, my Sheversationalists. The time is 25 minutes past 11, so it is 35 minutes to half past Wednesday. You already know if you're a regular here on Sheversations, and you know that 12 is half past the day. So I hope that your morning is going good. How is the weather treating you? Traffic in our peleka jama mnapelekwa to, like, are you going with intention? Are the New Year's resolutioning? Ama, it's going like my English right now, down the drain. Let me know how it's going. Also, guys, it is a February. It is the month of love, apparently. And my question to you guys is, Nairobi women, particularly, let me address Nairobi women. How is it going? The thermometer, if we measure your hearts, is it still cold kama ile baridi ya July? Ama you guys are ready to give another heartbreak a chance? I want to know, because tulisema mpande maua kama mnataka maua ya Feb. You guys should have planted in December, in November. Yeah, we googled last week. No, 2 weeks ago we actually googled if there's flowers which can grow in 2 weeks, and we realized that labda kales, skuma wiki, labda. Yeah, they would have flowered kidogo. Probably not the kind of flowers that we want. And I just want to speak a little bit about the consumerism of Valentine's and just how superficial some of these holidays are. Is it a holiday? A celebration, commemoration of love? You know, there's all those crazy, St. Valentine's was sijui what, the pagan ceremonies of sex and all of that. Honestly, let's just focus on venye tunaijua, the Valentine's where you wear red and you just, commemorate love. I feel like, personally, it's extremely, extremely commercial. We talked about this last week, but we're still going to talk about it today. Why? Because some of you guys have not yet recovered from the drama of January. You haven't recovered from the financial drama that you people have put yourselves in. And already people are looking for money to spend. They're trying to be exorbitant on things that they don't need. Ask yourself, is this necessary to sustain our love? Is this something that is going to build? If you guys want to feed each other oysters from Oyster Bay, you want to go to Ocean and Basket, you want to go and chill pale kwa Kibandaski, that's really up to you. But my question is this something that you're doing because it matters to you and actually adds value to your love? Or are you doing it because of FOMO? Because you have the fear of missing out? Is that why you're celebrating Valentine's? And a close friend of mine said to me years ago that she and her then boyfriend, who's now her husband, they have 2 babies now. Yeah. My age mate, 2 babies later, let me not be here exposing myself. But she said that she and her hubby, boyfriend then, do not celebrate Valentine's because they are very intentional to celebrate their love all the time. So for them, it was an intentional decision not to celebrate Valentine because they realized that it was just commercial for no reason. And so they wouldn't feel some type of way. They wouldn't feel some type of way when people are going out and doing that, because they had date night every single week. And once a month, they would have a mini road trip. They would go somewhere special and do a special activity just as a couple. And now that they have kids, I checked in on her a while back, and she's actually, they have actually kept up with that tradition. And my question to you guys is, ni sawa, mtapeana hizo maua? Wenye mnapewa maua mtazichukua and are going to be wilted in at most a couple of weeks. That's the longest flowers will stay fresh for if you put them in the right conditions. That's the most, because the flowers have already been disconnected from the source. Sindio. So that's just logic. So you've gotten the chocolates. It's ended in the drain. You've gotten those beautiful love letters. You've gotten your dinner date. You've done your fun activity. Some of you have fornicated very happily. Okay, beautiful. And then what? Is it a culture that you have in your relationship to celebrate love, or do you do it just because the rest of the world is doing it, and the rest of the time you're not cognizant of how can you celebrate each other? So my challenge to you is, if you are actually going to go ahead on celebrating Valentine, can you be intentional to make it a pattern, not necessarily the fancy, around the activities that you do, not necessarily the money that you're spending, but could you be because Christmas, we understand, is a family affair. Literally, some of us go see our families because family is the same, because watu wa kanisa wamesema mpewe public holiday, sisi ndio watu wa kanisa, and wengine wanachinja mbuzi, so you show up because it's vibes and inshallah. But Valentine, peer pressure inauma watu, because people get into relationships the same way some of you people have already dumped your December bays. So, what were December bays? You've already dumped them because now Valentine you need to upgrade and other nonsense. It's the same way that some of you people mtatafuta mtu because it's cold. I mean, is it really, or is it just like a heart issue? So I just want you guys, as you are continuously thinking about your New Year's resolutions, I won't stop asking until March. If you're failing to plan for the year and you have nothing on your to-do list, especially if you're regular here, then tunaweza give up on you. Tunaweza sema ati we're going with the flow, but you still have a chance to restart. I will personally be there. Call me for your fireworks ceremony as you plan to restart the year, and we can do that together. But in the same way that we are intentional with making plans in this first quarter of the year, is the same way I want us to be reflective on how we view romantic relationships. And mind you, this is a day of celebrating romantic love, yes, but you could decide to be radical and take your mom out, take your dad out if you still have those people in your lives and you have a relationship with them. And even if you don't, could be a good start to say, hey, thank you so much for bringing me into the world, or thank you so much for being somebody who has supported me. Hata kama walikuzaa tu alafu wakakusahau, you can still just say, hey, thank you because I exist, even though I didn't give consent, but I exist because of you. Thank you very much. And you could decide to celebrate somebody that's close to you, a sister, a brother, a friend. Please, come on, friends with benefits. Can you please just have your DTR? Please define the relationship. If people are just hooking up, it doesn't need to be weird. All right. Y'all already know. If you've been here, you already know that I'm very, very extremely opinionated. So I'm not about to support your fornication shenanigans. I just want you to do it responsibly. Remember the ABCs: abstain, be faithful, condomize. Yangu inaishanga pale kwa abstain. Until somebody puts a ring on that finger and that's not something that you're interested in doing, I respect that. Just don't be collecting stuff through your vajayjay and other parts that you're not interested in, right? It goes beyond the physical. I stay reminding you, sawa. If you're looking for comfort, and sweet nothings when it comes to Valentine shenanigans, you're not going to find it here. But if you came for the good, then stay tuned, because in just a bit, we're going to start our conversation and see what the girlies have been doing in this continent, because we're going to write some of those conversations that have always gone left. And right before we do that, we are going to have Sinanoma by Charisma, because honestly, that's how it be. We are also going to have Ombi by Stony Ajiwe. Stay attuned. I'm going to be back in the next.
Na wakini seti kwa IG dawa ya watiaji hoshere mina vibe na nyimu nani analyze who I wonder why me I'm just tryna catch a wine analyze who I wonder why me I'm just tryna catch a wine we shukulika na your life hoshere mina vibe na nyimu nani analyze who I wonder why I'm just tryna catch a wine we shukulika na your life cheki zangu zimenai. Don't you disrespect my lover, my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama, my guy. Chaber dongingero na hero gasianda, leo ni party hadi mchana, my guy. Shere na piganga na kikosi, kwa mfuko pesa haikosi, mademu wananiitanga kiongozi, vile mimi hutesanga Nairobi. Sele zimeripoti, chini tuko kwa magoti, akiwewe usinirekodi, kesho nipate mmeshaniposti. Niko sherehe mina vibe, nanyi munani analyze, I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine, we shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, nanyi munani analyze, I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine, we shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zime nice, don't you disrespect my lover. Sinanoma my guy, tonight I don't want no drama. Sinanoma my guy, Chaber dongingeo anahero kasianda. Sinanoma leo ni party hadi mchana. Sinanoma my guy, sinanoma my guy, sinanoma my guy, sinanoma my guy. Chaber dongingeo anahero kasianda. Sinanoma my guy. Nekakana weri, nekakana weri, nekakana weri. Oh weri, nekakana weri, nekakana weri, nekakana weri.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Real time music.
Ilemta Mboginizer kijabidi makofinizer na tumegrow wiser juu ya kwenda chini magoti maombinizer tunaifanyaga na ease and duress serenity wazazi watakubless we straight man ninja anakudress hii ni God given anakustress on the low bila fuck my hater watakugesa na hapa ni mia anakulesa na ukikosa jumuiya watakuleft. Time is money, watu hawana form watakuspend stone ati mafans watakurest hadi teacher utadhani hapa chaman kupet. Hii ni sure so imebaki hapa jaman kubet kasi ganji tabaki hapa radan kustep woo nandika duoba wisdom nile ya old man woo from Kenya to Portland tuli dance yard before a broad man Mboginizer kijabidi makofinizer na tumegrow wiser juu ya kwenda chini magoti maombinizer Mboginizer kijabidi makofinizer na tumegrow wiser juu ya kwenda chini magoti maombinizer na visa kwani form ni kucommit crime na kuwalk free chomly ambitions of a hustler kwani kuwa doni utawacho kisema sezi afford hii kwani form ni kucommit crime na kuwalk free chomly ambitions of a hustler kwani kuwa doni utawacho so nime up tena sleep get in a back when I do it kasi ganji na piga ile absent or rui corporate zimeni spot kaile comment ya chui andika kiare kwa check kwa wale wenjui tushajistract chaluki imepigwa imebaki na mapuncture wounds tunavunja mifupa pani mafracture energy ko hapa itabaki umeamka tu nandika duoba wisdom nile ya old man from Kenya to Portland tuli dance yard before a broad man Mboginizer kijabidi makofinizer na tumegrow wiser juu ya kwenda chini magoti maombinizer Mboginizer kijabidi makofinizer na tumegrow wiser juu ya kwenda chini magoti maombinizer Mboginizer kijabidi makofinizer na tumegrow wiser juu ya kwenda chini magoti maombinizer
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
You said you like all comba. Baby, turn around and pull up to me bumper. Your skin smooth like Jojoba. ati wanafanya nini, wanaogopa dark skin na nachota, melanin na lova, nobody can boga. Well, if you try sometime back in November, they really didn't think I would remember. Sahi, my confidence in my rise. I never used to be like this before. I used to be so damn insecure. Atikuwa dark skin ilana. Hey, that's why we can love. Nothing ever sweet like coco. Get on the dance floor, make them loco. You say you like Ologomba. You turn around and pull up to me bumper. Your skin smooth like Jojoba. Ati wanafanya nini, wanaogopa dark skin na nachocha, melanin na lova, nobody can boga. You say you like Ologomba. You turn around and pull up to me bumper. Your skin smooth like Jojoba. Ati wanafanya nini, wanaogopa dark skin na nachocha, melanin na lova, nobody can boga. You don't know how I like your confidence. The way you walk, how you talk, it's evident. Black is the beauty, so more for them, so more for them. You were a star, brown skin, una kill. Oh, show them who you are. You were a star, brown skin, una kill. Oh, show them who you are. You like a loco. Like a loco, you like that toto, like that toto star. You like a loco, like a loco, you like that toto, like that toto star. You like a loco, like a loco, you like that toto. Like that toto star. You like a loco, like a loco, you like that toto, like that toto star.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Welcome back. How you doing? I hope you're enjoying my playlist. I hope you are enjoying. That was Dark Skin by Brandy Minor, because we're all about the melanin. And right before that, we were giving our props to the Most High, Stony Jiwe with Ombi. And also we said Asina Noma, charisma. And we're having a good old Wednesday. I'm not by myself this morning. So let's talk about bonus story mingi peke yangu. I brought company, and I want the company to introduce himself. Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm well. I'm excited to be here.
You excited?
Let's just talk about music, culture, women, everything.
Umeshaanza. Like, why so serious? Why so serious? How was your morning?
So actually slept at 2, then woke up at 5.
You slept at 2, and so you slept for 3 hours.
Any other normal Kenyan out there?
No. Normal Kenyans don't do that, please. Why? What is?
I thought we are
resisting.
Yeah,
we're working overnight.
Even with the sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, so please tell the people your majina. You can start with your sijui, if you have a DJ name, majina za mtaa, sijui stripper name. Unajua people shock us. And then stripper name. Yeah.
Now I'm actually thinking about that. I do not have one. I should actually get one.
What would you be if you were a stripper? If you decided up and your economy mekufikisha, and you're like, I am letting it all loose, and that's how it be. What would your stripper name be? Yeah, I want you to think about it very seriously.
The church community will actually break on that. Black chocolate. Yeah, I think it works. It works with the blackness and the chocolate. Sweet flavor.
Oh my my goodness. Anyways, guys, we
Yeah.
did say it's February, so maybe we're like giving you a fighting chance to have a Valentine's date.
Yeah, if you do not have anyone on 14th, my number is 07. Yeah. Daily.
So hakuna mtu uko nje unakasirisha.
Kuna
Ama anajua, anajua. If they
behave.
Oh my goodness.
If they behave.
Oh, the toxicity, guys.
No,
It
no,
is
no.
right.
No, I'm actually very calm. I think they'll be joining in.
Toxic men never say that they're toxic. They never say that they're toxic.
So in my defense, what is being toxic?
What is being toxic? No, you can't ask me questions.
I'm trying to be philosophical.
You're
philosophical.
philosophical.
With it. But the whole idea is, when I say if they behave, if they answer that text.
If they respond, but that's not behaving. Just say wakikukubali. Sasa we ndio shida. Unajaribu protect ego by making it about them. So by trying to make it look like they're gonna be missing out on a good thing. Ama, that's how you're the prize.
No. We all the prize. We all the prize.
This man is fighting for his life. But sir, do you have a name other than Black Chocolate? That's official, by the way. So feel
AKA
free.
Black Chocolate. My name is David Waithaka.
Okay.
Waithaka, Kikuyu of the land.
Watu wa Morema.
Usiguze hiyo kwanza saizi.
Pole sana.
Baadaye. But
People are still
David
hurting.
Waithaka.
Gachagua.
Heartbroken.
Where? Were you one of the people who genuinely felt like, why are you doing this to us? Somehow you're like, this is just games, it's politics, I don't care, hainihusu. Ilikuwa inakuhusu hiyo kitu, hiyo
So if
story.
you actually talk about politics, it's a whole other thing about it was a political witch hunt.
Okay.
They just went in to a guy. I'm not defending him. I don't know whatever it is.
You're allowed to defend him. You're allowed.
No, I do not know whatever conversation they had behind the screens. Because they tend to actually hide a lot from us.
Right.
But the whole idea was, even if you do not like the guy, if you like him or not, the whole process around how that was actually operated is full of BS.
Okay.
But yeah, this is Kenya and this is
so
Ruto's country.
Yeah, so he's not happy, guys. He's not happy. He's not impressed.
Is there anyone who's happy?
I mean,
apart from Ruto's children.
Staki wanikujie. Anyways, me, I'm just the girl, guys. My opinions, they remain very, very personal. Lakini mnazijua zote because mimi sinanga filter. Tulisema msiguze Murima mkaguza. Sasa we are going to be venting the whole year. I'm going to be venting the whole year because since sinanga content ingine, one side wanatu abduct, the other side wanatuua, wamama, femicide, all of that. How's that been treating you? Like, are you enjoying being Kenyan? Because me personally, as a woman, I'm not impressed so far. I'm not.
No, they say any country that actually hurts the women, hurts the young ones, is actually a country inviting chaos. That's the idea. That's everything. It's like simple mathematics. History has actually proven that to us years after years. Yeah. And the whole idea about this country is actually very funny. They try to actually pin it on so many things. A while back, it was wazazi, put your children right. The other one was, they actually tried coming in with a class divide. What is actually young privilege? Kids that have Ubers or trying to actually
Ubers
lead
and
this.
the iPhones.
Well, then, here we are with the Ubers and iPhones trying to actually ask for something better. I think every generation has to actually have the Mau Mau had the forest, had the knives and the other thing. In ours is more of a vocal and more of a intertwined actually way of engaging in conversations.
I hear you.
Trying to have.
I hear you. Now, speaking of generations, David, I want to ask. So, what kind of a human being is David? Like, there's so many ways to describe yourselves. Mimi nakumbuka niliandika article ya myself in standard 1, in standard 2. It's like all the way up to campus. There were still
class 1.
Essays. Class 1. Okay. Amkuwa mnaandika in class 1, guys.
Ulisomea wapi? Okay. Group of schools. I finished.
You accusing the government of classing us, saying that it's what's Uber nama, and then you also trying to put me in a box, David. No.
Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Usiogope. It's part of you.
Mimi hata sikusomea huku hata tuseme tu I was not within these borders. Moi akitesa watu ama akipeana maziwa depending on ulipata maneno ikiwa imesongea wapi. I was not even close by. And fortunately or unfortunately, I can't relate.
How was where you are?
Where we were writing myself. We were writing, my name is so-and-so. This is my favorite color. Which is why I want to know, like, tell me just a paragraph 2. Like Sai, Sheversationists are watching, the girlies are watching, the guys are watching. So please introduce yourself and just take us through a short journey of who you are.
Exactly. Yeah. Hiyo kidogo nitauma nje.
Okay.
But
Kama kawama.
No. It's actually, if I'm trying to actually work on it, I would say my name is David Wedaka.
Okay.
David in the essence of holiness, in the essence of kings.
All right.
Yeah, you have to like, unaelewa. In maisha, if you do not blow your own trumpet, it's like a whole other thing happening here.
Amesema mjichoche.
Yeah, you have
like,
to
come
actually write that story.
Right.
I would have written it differently.
Right.
But now is David, a love of life, in the University of Life, trying to figure out this department of adulting.
University of Hard Knocks. Giza kidogo.
The basement has a basement.
KPLC wamesema lights off. Wamesema wow, we can't see where we're going. Ama we unaona?
Hata kuongea nashindwa. I lack words.
Are you millennial or are you Gen Z? Which generation? Which ama uko hapo zillennial?
There's a version of me that is in the Gen Alpha even.
Gen Alpha, please.
No, there's a version
2010.
of me. There's a version of me
which has refused to come up.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Okay, sawa. No, I was
my ancestors.
I was trying to see how far into the darkness we're going.
No, I'm actually Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your chapter.
All right. So basically, this is how I like to put it. Yeah, millennials pale tulisumbuliwa. Most of us have refused to move on with life. We've refused to get married. Those of us that want children have them, and we've refused to do it in the structures that were recommended. We don't care about anybody. We keep quiet when we want. We talk when we want. And then there's Gen Zs who don't care about anyone. Lakini waguza hivi kidogo ndio utajua na kuanga serious. They're not looking for your employment, really. So that's you guys, because I'm millennial. I'm as old school as they come. And I feel like Gen Z, they don't care about a lot of things. But the minute you start messing with them personally, they're like, excuse me, boundaries.
So there's actually a notion around that.
Okay.
So there's a whole story.
Yeah.
And I think it all starts in a sense of colonial times. So there's a generational trauma that each generation has actually to pick up. So the boomers in the 50s and 60s,
the boomers. Trauma.
Wametuletea yote.
Yeah. Ebu aseme, what did they do? Just a short 2 sentences while you do. Because the people who don't get what the boomers did, what did they do?
It was a lot of, I think, number one, they hadn't actually accepted their own skin. They're not comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, because they received colonization live.
And now most of them in the 50s and the 60s actually had parents who were mostly either present, or when they were present, they were violent.
Right, because they were in the war.
Exactly.
They were fighting.
And people do not actually understand that.
Right.
We had one of the largest, I always say this, Kenya is actually one of the countries that actually pulled out of settler colonialism. And people do not actually understand that. So colonialism in the British context had different formats going on.
Okay.
Kenya was one whereby you had the settler format, which meant that we mostly had teachers. If right now we're actually complaining about CBC, and this actually, if you actually look at it in a historical context, it's something that's actually coming back from our introduction into colonialism.
Right.
We received the highest number as a country of teachers and of retiring teachers. Teachers, missionaries, exactly.
Right.
Nurses.
Yeah.
So they came with the mind of, we are coming to build a house, we're coming to build a church, we're coming to take land.
Yeah. And we're also coming to take over.
Exactly.
To re-engineer the way they know themselves, their community, their society. Yeah.
Introduce them into a very civilized UK.
Right. Here we are, very, very civilized.
Excited to talk with a little bit of tongue and twing in our language and something. I don't know.
Yes.
It's all mess.
But it's fine. Please don't come for me. But okay, so before we get deeper into these theories, because I have questions for you.
Yes.
Questions. Umeguza kitu yenye inanikasirishanga, and I'm trying to have a good day. So let me just postpone for okay, so you are a lover of life, you've said. What do you do? Personally, I do my best. Ukiniuliza, sinanga long answers. I do my best. But normally wewe sa ulikuwa pale kwa University of Life, you say that you're a student of life, but can you be more specific if somebody wants to anataka kukutafuta, like unapatikana wapi? Wewe are you in
Ask
there?
for my red card.
Red card.
Niko na red card.
Gani ya ulisema black what? Please, where were we? What was your stripper name?
Black chocolate.
Black
chocolata. I'll say chocolata, you know. Pay homage to the home. Swahili.
So black chocolate, there's so much going on, guys. So is that the red card we're getting, or do you wear
one,
other hats?
If she says yes to
to
having a ring,
okay,
she gets it for life.
So ring, okay.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I'm old. I want to settle down. I do not want to go through the hassle of
you don't want
for a pet.
You don't want to be a millennial.
A pet at night. Nah.
No, millennials don't want pets. We don't want pets. I'm gonna speak for the We just want to be left alone. We don't even want businesses. We just want to be employed and earn enough money, live quietly, not have to share an apartment with noisy neighbors. Because sherehe tumepiga. See mimi, guys, I've always been boring. If you saw me elsewhere, it wasn't me. I'm a new creation. It's whoever you thought you knew. I'm not the one. I'm a very boring person who's, imagine as a generation, we're not very interested in all of that. So pets are for, I feel like, young boomers. They're the ones who wanted pets. Sai, and then Gen Zs, now they're keeping a lot of pets. Millennials, I don't think we're pets people. Like sisi tuko na mang'ombe huko cha. We milk cows, we have goats, sijui tunami, guys. Chickens.
Exactly.
Tunazichinja for Christmas, for consumption. Si kuziita masi.
Miti avocado kwa fence.
Do you get?
Yeah.
Like totally. We're old souls. Like sisi need to shows like to miss, but it's fine. Okay, so so if she behaves,
yes.
That's the version of you that's for her. But now for the rest of us, when we don't want to know you like that. Where can you be found? Who are you? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? Like
so yes.
So
the first thing is, I always say this: if you tear up my heart, I think at the core I'm a server of people. I serve people.
Okay.
I serve communities.
Okay.
I'm so big on diplomacy.
Right.
There's a lack of African narrative, African stories actually in a global space.
Right.
So actually try to change that. I've worked in the space of youth leadership.
Okay.
I am a cultural diplomat, as I refer to myself.
What's a cultural diplomat?
So cultural diplomat is us engaging as a person, as a group, as an individual,
right?
Engaging with other people internationally, with governments, but now on the aspect of I am not here to engage on matters of trade, but I'm here to actually try to, whatever program you want to apply in our country,
right,
in this continent, you have to actually go behind or operate in this way of
meet
manner.
The context of who we are.
Exactly.
Okay, as Africans and
we
as young
survive
people.
as a community. So
right.
You have to actually involve the community with a sense of dignity, with a sense of respect, with a sense of inclusion. So we try to actually advise countries, companies,
the powers that be.
Exactly. That want to actually come here. This is not the Africa that's actually sold out there. You want to come and fulfill kind of like a privilege of yours, coming as a savior. Buy a few chocolate at the KQ airport and come and give a few kids on the road.
Get a few kids with flies and just say, oh my God, I'm helping the children in Africa.
Exactly.
We are the children in Africa, damn it.
They say people are dying in Africa. I do not know which Africa, but people are dying there.
It's very, Africa is not a country, first of all. We're gonna fight. Okay. So you're a cultural diplomat, you're a youth leader, you care about community. Why does that matter to you? Because there's enough. Was there Pile UN? We saw Baba was what's yes, that very interesting, because I feel like he should just rest, with all due respect. I'm a choker and I'm not even hating. Competence is a thing, and there's a particular age where you can only do so much. So let's not be giving our legacy humans positions that actually need more vibrant minds. But there's a bunch of mostly men, a few women as well, especially in the tech space. It's very interesting that women are leading the tech space in Kenya. Do you know that? Do you know that in the tech space, it's mostly women who are actually getting into those global spaces? Yeah. So we have that. We have a bunch of Africans who koinje, and I don't know if we see impact. So what is it that makes you want to go into that space on a global level? Not just to do it from your, ka village. By the way, umetoka wapi? Mkona ocha ama wewe ni kijana wa Nairobi? Mkona ocha?
So, Sona Viewpoint, where people actually go take photos of the thing down there.
Right.
In Viewpoint, the Rift Valley thingy.
Okay.
So we are actually the ones down there.
Down there, the
Yes.
under the mist and all of that.
Yes, where people, they call the mist.
What's it?
Madore.
It's called
No, so down there is called Larry Escarpment.
Okay.
Larry Escarpment.
Okay.
So up here is in Nairobi na Kuru Naivasha Highway, and people tend to during road trips or something. There's a stop there. You
Right.
stop, take videos and photos.
No,
of
I've
the
done
place
it.
down there.
I've I'm a culture tourist as
So
well.
we are down there, and you're like, what's happening?
Munadu?
Yeah, because you're always
Munadu?
down there, and you see people come in numbers, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, but it's because you're from the valley. That's why you're so deep, I think.
Yeah.
That's But why?
I have
why?
a couple of history about there. On another segment, tuongelea hiyo.
Sindio,
There's a
no,
lot.
no problem. You're welcome back. But like
Always.
for now, why do you feel like it's, why do we need the young people's voices? Why do we need a David in that space? Why do you care to be in that space? What are you trying to achieve?
Why do I care? Why do I have to care? Interesting question. So
Yeah.
number one, you have to actually understand our identity. So let's say culture is our biggest identity.
Okay.
As a person, as a being, as an individual, if you strip culture out of the equation, you just some soul searching, I don't know, whatever it is you are.
Right.
If you actually look at us as individuals, we come from a culture that has actually built powerfully on community, on serving, on service. On the sphere, on the Christian side, we say service to God is service to humanity.
True.
And it's how do we actually live a life that is just more than us? How do we live a life that is just continuum of legacy,
Right.
whereby we get to actually serve other people, build dignity, enhance dignity, and just spread it forward. So the reason I do that is numbers, population. In Africa, by 2030, 75% of the population is going to be young people.
Right.
If you look at every body in the world, globally and in the continent, whereby there's a government that actually seeks to service people, the representation and the number of people inside is worse. If you go to matters of diversity, inclusion, and equality, it's either not enough women, it's either not enough young people.
It's not looking good.
Exactly, it's either not enough people of majority color or
Right.
minorities
Right.
involved.
Right.
And you see this level, and there's a need for, do you know any young person actually at a global level, at a global stage, who is an African? We're speaking on matters of this, matters of community, on matters of equality, on matters of bringing us together and weaving a conversation.
No, because if they're not off the top of my head, then we haven't gotten there.
Exactly.
Because if you ask me about the people who've made it globally, I'm thinking of Lupita. I'm thinking of what's her name? We hate her. Elsa. Elsa. And honestly, past that, hata hakuna mtu mwingine mwenye they don't like, and now I would have to start Googling and looking for Kenyans in this industry in this. So so that's the end game. That's what you want to do.
Exactly, because the idea is, how do we get to actually create our own? So mine is, let us just be so prolific, number one, that we get to hijack systems that were not actually created for us.
Okay.
The UN, at the initial starting conversation on the table, had no African there.
Right.
And then you go to now on matters of entertainment, the Grammys, they've started to include Kinabana, Juicy.
They've put Africa in whole categories.
Imagine.
They've everybody's in one category.
Africa,
wow.
They say African music as if Africa is just
a country.
Exactly. And what people do not understand, we have as a continent 2,000 languages. No, 2,000 ethnic groups and 3,000 languages, ethnic languages.
Yeah.
There's no continent.
I bet there are more.
Exactly. There's no continent on the face of the earth
that has that much diversity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you decided to make each a color, each a fabric, each a material, now imagine on the creation that comes out of that.
Yeah. And that's why we're so colorful as a continent. Yeah, so basically what I'm getting from that is that we have a problem with representation.
Yes.
We have an issue of just mashing everything African up into just one senseless mush that just does not deal with what we need dealt with in a nuanced way. Okay. Sasa wazee wenye wameenda huko, the people whose names we do know, and all of the titles that you carry, they call themselves by the same titles, or they were addressed with the same titles. What's different about David and his generation and wazee wenye they've gone ahead? Because there's plenty of people who claim to have been doing this work, and at this point they're retiring very happily in their holiday homes. That's all I can say. I don't know what they did for. So how are you different in the generation that you're coming from?
I think there's always anything that is personal and anything that has the ability to actually be authentic as a personal story attached to it. If we go back, there's a story, I think, somewhere in the family. My grandfather was one of the collaborators or something. Collaborators on the side of the colonialism.
He said with his full chest.
No. So in my
he
defense,
said, I was the one. We were the ones. I was the drama.
No. It was a grandfather who was a home guard. Was part of the home guard.
He's like, msiniweke hapo, guys. I'm just related to the guy.
But he did his work. He did his work in the sense of he loved his country so much that he kept telling his kids, his son, my father, how much of what he saw, how much of what he experienced, or how much killing he saw, the massacres.
Right.
And he always told me just study, telling him study. He wasn't privileged enough to study. And then comes this young, very bouncing baby boy, Black Chocolata.
Oh my goodness. We've created a monster.
I'm gonna use that for a couple of times. I'm gonna overuse that.
Focus. Bouncing baby boy. Your grandfather told you that he wasn't privileged enough to be educated.
Exactly. Back to the story. So you get that, and there's I haven't grown up in a very privileged place.
Okay.
There's a sense of, if you grow up in a center of inequality, if you grow up in a place whereby you see other people being hurt, either it's your mother, either it's your sister, either it's your grandparents, or I think like that, it creates something in you. It's either you want to become worse or you want to become better and address that.
Yeah.
So I think I was privileged enough to want to become better, to address that. So what I do different is, in all my work, there's an understanding that. So there's an analogy they use, the butterfly effect.
Right.
So the butterfly effect is, you take a butterfly, and every time the butterfly actually flaps and the wings touch, you see at the tipping point, there's a sense of ripple effect created.
Yeah, change. Something happens.
Something happens. Now imagine you did that, and there's a change created, and there's like 2-3 other people doing the same thing that you're doing, and it creates like a whole ripple effect.
Yeah.
The
so
system,
patterns and re-engineering culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The system is, if you actually go to the base of who we are as a people, as a community, our whole identity was built on the aspect of, I am a red, you're a blue, you're a pink, that color, we come together and we create this red. It only works if we bring everyone on board, if it's something from an authentic heart, if it's a work that actually seeks to serve.
Right.
Number one, to actually honestly serve, authentically serve. And then most importantly, put that dignity, something that you do not get. I grew up seeing Turkana guys with the flies in the mouth.
Right.
And I'm like,
that's the only representation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you go there and you find one of the most beautiful, because I've been in Turkana, you find one of the most beautiful, amazing people who are so deep into culture.
Yeah.
And these guys, and you hear that, wazungu wanakujanga hapa, and they work for like miles and miles and miles to get like the perfect shot.
Yeah.
And then the perfect shot is now the kid seated under, I don't know, in the middle of a desert.
Yeah.
With a hawk flying on top.
Yeah.
And ours is, how do we create a change to do that? Because I'll not be here tomorrow. How do we get to actually bring enough people on this conversation? Yeah, let us just make a better world. Let us just make a better community.
Right.
So I think that is a mission I'm always on, creating systems to empower communities to actually just build more.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I don't think I'm gonna add anything on that because that has been very, very, very well said. And we're gonna come back and talk about the girlies because that's the order.
The women.
That's the girlies. And we are going to take a break. We're gonna listen to one of my faves, Elsa Finjara and Manasseh Shalom saying space. Ya 2 will be back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day
Manasseh
and
kwenye
night.
mic.
Power Radio.
Na njora wa manjaro. Mini weni mini mouse. Tufike pale Disney, ribbon shati na blouse. Uliza Tom and Jerry kapati nataka clowns. Ama two stupid dogs, sisi tuko down bet. Nimepanga nina space ya 2. Date kama tunda breakfast for 2. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko fi kucheza kama cartoons. Here you go, pewa balloon. Miss Cunningham, I'm your bare balloon. Call it serendipity, vile na feel so due. Who knew to odd ones could even out the mood. Love TBT kama rapa magoo. Sweet kama pipi shika rapa I do. Si mas kwenda kinki pewa sweetie ya you. Ni mimi ni take it role play ni through. So come through hapo kwangu kama 5+2. You like food, nina wagu ina sick na soup. You want proof, okay maybe ni kanyagu ya chum. Babora time na you, the rest si must to do. To vibe mama, kama rumba mama. Improvise na cham, hamna haraka hata. Mina wewe dada, ni time so tam sana. Songea karibu mama, hii ni just for you. Cause nimepanga nina space ya 2. Date kama tunda breakfast for 3. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko free kucheza kama cartoons. Nimepanga nina space ya 2. Date kama tunda breakfast for 3. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko free kucheza kama cartoons.
Dexter na Johnny Bravo. Tumekuja na ingine form juvenile. Sijui tukuite superwoman. Baby umeweza kama Kim Possible. Undeniable. Kele tukaue. Ekangu tapye nuwe resident. Na kwa president. Maembe maukamba got nothing on you, yeah. Makwasi masoso nimeue. Ukangonye kusua Kele tuka no aisieli kaiyele. Na kwa nina space for you, yeah.
Nimepanga nina space ya 2. Date kama tunda breakfast for 2. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko free kucheza kama cartoons. Nimepanga nina space ya 2. Date kama tunda breakfast for 2. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko free kucheza kama cartoons.
Chamama Kalongolongo nivo Apana nivo Apana chamama Chababa Kalongolongo nivo Apana nivo Apana.
Nimepanga nina space ya 2. Date kama tunda breakfast for 2.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I hope you find someone who will give you wings to soar. And I hope this person decides to fly alone. I hope you find someone who will make the flowers grow, even in the saddest parts of your beautiful soul. And that you will find a home in the one that gives you hope, never leaves you guessing. They'll let you know for certain. But mostly, I hope you find all these things within yourself first, so you can be ready for this type of love. I hope you find all these things within yourself first, so you can be ready for this type of love. And should your heart be filled with grief for what you had, know it's still a gift to have ever loved at all. And when you look for people to love you, don't forget to look into the mirror and give yourself a call. I hope you find a friend, a home and a garden where you tend and sow. I hope you will harvest, but mostly I hope I find all these things within myself first, so I can be ready for this type of life. I hope I find all these things within myself first, so I can be ready for this type of love. For this type of love.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Akia, ninaoga jamani, ninaoga, sielewi nini inatendeka, kwa sababu vile wajitolea kunipenda mimi sijazoea. Ninawaza na tena ninapanga vile mimi naweza kutoroka. Hisia zangu ambazo zinapanda zinanifanya kuogopa. Dreamed of a love like this, a man who loved me so perfectly. How can it be now that you're with me? I can't seem to believe that this is for real. Unakazana, nakataa, wajaribu kusukuma, nakataa, nimejenga ukuta kaziba, ufa uwezi ingia.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Welcome back. Welcome back. The time is 20 minutes past 12, and we've just been listening to the good sound of Akia. That was by Thaka and Sarah. Right before that, we had This Type of Love by Keithan, because we are feeling it. It's a season of love, and we also had Space here too, rightfully so. Elsa Finjara and Manasseh Shalom. And right before we went on our break, my good friend David over here was telling me about the girlies, that we need to have a conversation about women in Africa. We need to have a conversation about history. And he shared with us why. Why does community building matter so much? Why do we need to know who we are as a people? And we talked about what's wrong out there with the picture of representation and how misrepresented we are as Africans. How much of our space is not being taken up in the global sphere of things. Yes. So my question to you, David, is: have you ever stolen anything?
Stolen? I was a bit naughty.
You were?
Naughty.
So the answer is yes?
Yeah, a couple of stuff, yes.
What did you steal? What's the first thing you remember stealing?
Chocolate from a shop.
From a shop?
Yeah, Luca. And then she found me.
What kind of chocolate was it?
It was, so back when I was young, I'm that old. There are these things that actually came into the market.
Okay.
They're a little bit, they're like guns. It's a plastic guns, and then at the tip, it's just full of sweets inside.
Okay. So a toy with candies inside.
Candies inside, exactly.
Okay.
You said candies. I'm like, what? Okay. I know sweets. So I'm like,
sweets.
Shows where we're actually from. But yeah.
I am still being judged, guys.
No, I'm actually judging you.
It's fine. I forgive you.
No, I'm actually highlighting it for you to actually just
enjoy
it. So,
I hear you. So, okay, so you took this candied gun. This is the gun with the sweets.
Yeah. It was, I think, 20 shillings at the time. That was a lot.
Okay.
So I was like,
Did you get caught?
Yeah. My father to actually pay back 10.
So it's your dad that noticed, and then he took...
No, so the lady, the one who owns
the shopkeeper,
holds me with the hand, takes me to my parents.
Okay.
My dad pays 10.
Okay.
And then I paid with my part. Oof.
Were you whooped? Obviously.
Couldn't sit down for like 3 days.
Oh my, 3 days.
African parents.
And what's the second thing that you stole?
So I think the worst thing I've ever stolen is a phone.
A phone?
When I was young. Yeah.
Okay, no, we need to unpack. We need to unpack.
So I need to call my lawyer first. But in my defense, I was young. I was underage. So they cannot actually hold me to account. I was 12. I was 12, 11.
You were stealing phones at 12. So you were a gangster. You were a criminal.
The place I came from. So we stayed in Kayole.
Okay.
So if you know anything about Kayole.
Okay.
Kayole, Mukuru Konjenga.
Yeah.
So I have
original gangsters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
OG. So we grew up in that space.
Mm-hmm.
Before Kina Gaza and Kina Vibes Cartel
came
along.
Right.
There was this wave of just very innocent young kids just wanted to just be seen. I think it was just our way of wanting to be seen.
Right.
Because we used to live in a slum. And surprisingly now, a kilometer away from that used to be this big estate.
Okay.
So you used to walk past the big estates and then go inside, and then you'd find this Kamukuru kwa Jenga.
Yeah.
You look at like a trench, and then you go into the shops, and there's a couple of shackle houses. So we used to live inside those areas. So it's just a sense of you wanting to just experience what the other one experienced. It's a normal phase.
I hear you. And the reason why I've asked you that question is because I find that a lot of our history as Africans, and particularly African women, has been stolen. It's been hijacked. And I like how your reason for whatever shenanigans you got up to. Yeah. I would say for you that was valid. It makes a lot of sense because privilege and the opposite, just the coming from a space where the story of the day is poverty, where socioeconomic status is a question. I think it makes a lot of sense when people are just constantly searching for what is better, but when it comes to our history, my thing always is, what is the reason? Was there a reason? Who was it benefiting? Oftentimes when something is taken, like in your stories, it's either just innocence, just mischief, or need.
Exactly.
Need. No matter how this action is expressed, there is a justification that if you follow makes sense. But why were our stories hijacked as African women? What would you say to that? Why were they stolen? Because the narrative of the African woman right now is weye.
Exactly.
Yeah. Was that always the case, and how was that story taken over?
If you ever go into this history of women, women particularly in Africa,
Right.
post-colonial,
Yes.
it's a story of utopia, it's a story of novelty. If
Okay.
you try to actually compare it with what's happening right now.
Yeah.
If you now try to actually put it in a more modern term of it,
Yeah.
you've asked, number one, answering the question why it's stealing of culture is actually a defense. It's actually a way of stripping of dignity from a community.
So it's intentional.
Exactly, it's intentional. Because number one, I said, as a people, culture is one of your biggest. As part of your identity, culture
Right.
is the
It's
largest
core.
percentage. Exactly, it's core to it.
Yeah.
So if I come, I find that there's an existing governance in your society. This is a place whereby you place women.
Yeah.
And you place women in a position higher than where I'm from, but I have the guns, I have the money, and I have the number of people
Right.
to actually change the system. It's easy for me to do that.
Yeah.
And this is actually what happened in Africa. We had, right now, if I ask you, what is your most recent definition of culture? What would you say, culture and women intertwined? What does that mean to you right now?
I mean, culture, just by definition, is a way of life. And currently, without looking for a definition, is honestly, women exist under the patriarchy.
Exactly.
And the patriarchy currently is known as a very oppressive system. I understand
Yes.
that there's some very cultural and very redeeming qualities to the patriarchy if we look at ourselves outside of the colonial lens. However, currently, when I look at the patriarchy, I think the patriarchy is a very big part in collaboration with colonization or just white supremacy. The reason why feminism was necessary at some
Exactly.
point, or why it became popular, and how it's taken over some of our narratives in Africa as women is empowerment. We're a girl child,
Self-preservation.
Exactly. But that's because what are we preserving ourselves? We are always in the defense because history has written a story of women as victims. Since I was born, women have been victims. It's not something that I want to be, but when I look in history, I look at the Wangari Maathais, I look at even Mother Karua, who's known as an Iron Lady. She's become that way because she's constantly having to fight against something, whether she's on the right side of things, the wrong side of things, however you may look at it. The heroes that I have in this country are not heroes because they're awesome. They're heroes because they had to fight against something. And so I don't really know. I haven't seen the best representation of being a woman except under oppression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very intentional, actually. Our minds, I think our minds is being split into, there's a subconscious and the conscious mind. So I did marketing. And in marketing, there's something called subtle marketing.
Okay.
So in subtle marketing, if I want you to buy something,
Yeah.
I'll take whatever product it is and I'll put it in a place whereby will seem pleasing to your eyes. If I want to sell you maybe a lotion, I'll go take a lady, never even used the lotion, but in our eyes, you're like, they meet a certain standards and criteria that any other majority lady out there would want to actually
You
fit
create
in.
Desire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I create desire, I create a sense of lust even around the men because they would now want to buy that for their ladies.
Yeah, sex sells.
Exactly, sex sells. So the idea about that is right now we're in a position of talking about modernity. We do not get to experience women and see them as these big icons. Number one, because that was what was sold to us. If you look at subtle marketing, we have all grown up knowing that who is a nurse?
A
It's
woman.
lady, a woman.
Yeah.
Who is a doctor?
The man.
The man.
Yeah.
Who's the engineer? The man.
man.
Who's all these things? Who's the driver? The man. Who's supposed to be the caretaker?
Yeah.
The woman.
The lady, yeah.
And it's actually a system that was created, picked after colonialism, and the current government that actually came on board decided, saw it as a form of actually putting everyone under control and saying, this works for us.
It works, yeah.
Until now, every company, now there's a sense of governance in it, and then you bring consumerism.
Right.
Consumerism actually changes our mindset about things.
Capitalism.
Exactly. You bring now the ideas about the Barbies.
Right.
So you're creating dolls
The light
for the girls.
skinned, the straight hair,
Exactly.
the skinny with the big, what your mama gave you.
Right now, if you try to buy a toy car and take it to maybe your niece and your daughter, everyone will be like, why are you taking it?
Unadu.
Exactly. That's for boys.
I have a personal story actually on this. I had this big green bus that a friend of my mom's, who was surprisingly a lady, back in the 90s, got for me as a gift.
Yes.
It was my favorite toy. I had teddy bears, I had dolls, I had balls to play with, skipping ropes, colors. The bus was honestly my favorite. I can't tell you why, but I was 4 years old. I didn't have that much experience to, I just saw it and I liked it. And after having it for 1 year, the neighbor's son, same age as me. Yes. Again, I was around 4 years old. I remember this very vividly. He didn't have as many toys as I barely had any toys. Yeah. And so he just came, played, and then literally ran away with took it and went, and that was it.
Yes.
And my mom was like, oh, I'm so sorry, whatever. And then my dad was like, but it's fine because he's a boy.
He's a boy.
Yeah, let him take
That's
the
a
bus.
justification
We'll
for that.
get you a doll.
Exactly.
And I was so hurt for the longest time. And at 4 years, you don't know how to vocalize that. But now I realize it was those gender politics.
Exactly.
Because girls can't have. Maybe now I would be driving, guys. I would be driving, a Range Rover, but they killed my dreams at 4 years because they wouldn't let me play with my toy bus.
It's actually crazy. If, I remember when I was young.
Yeah.
Me and my sister, I have a younger sister, 2 years older than I.
Okay.
And we used to study in the same primary school.
Right.
So I remember we'd wake up in the morning, 5, start walking to school. It's a couple of kilometers. And we are walking alongside this main road. And every time a car would pass, my sister would be like, a lady is driving that. And we'd be like, no way.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a lady.
It was exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, that would be like a conversation I would carry forward for the next couple of hours for the day.
Yeah.
So I'll go tell the guys, I actually saw a lady drive a car.
Wow, yeah, it
And
was
they're like,
news.
No, hey, it's news. Because it's a gender conditioning we've actually received.
Yeah.
And where does this come from? It's a sense of now going back to colonialism. Because everyone is saying, you mentioned something about patriarchy.
Yeah.
And I it might be controversial saying this, but patriarchy never had a problem. Patriarchy isn't even the problem at all.
Okay.
And then now looking pre-colonial systems, we had matriarchy and patriarchy are systems that actually used to coexist.
Yeah.
If you looked at the African woman now in the context of the African woman as an individual, as a community before colonialism, number one, we had women in power.
Okay.
We had women as chiefs.
Okay.
We've had stories of
Do you have
mothers.
any examples?
Yeah.
Just like,
Number
just
one, we had Santewa.
Okay.
So she's from the Asante Kingdom.
Yes.
And
come
this
on now.
was-
And that's a Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana, back then in the 1840s, 1921.
Yeah.
She collected an army of, I think it was 3,000, more than that, 3 to 5,000.
She was a girl boss.
Ooh, she was.
It's like, mess with me, I kill you, literally.
She was fire. She was feisty. She was everything that right now is considered to be
combative, violent, manly. Yes. Like, why, as a woman, why are you fighting?
Exactly. And if you actually looked at a council back then, the spiritual leader of the Asante Kingdom at the time was a lady.
Right.
Now, we had actually women who were actually taking purveyors and actually now protectors of our culture. So we had women who are now in the council of the Security Council right now. If you otherwise put it at a modern governance system, there are women in the Security Council. We had men. There's a mixture of everything. And they would advise. They would advise on, go do this, go do that. And she actually led a very spirited fight against the British during the time colonialism.
Yeah.
And they managed to actually take over the kingdom.
Yeah.
But she managed to actually run away. She died in exile. But during exile, she was actually training, rising up affirmative warriors, women warriors.
Yeah.
If right now I actually say there's an existence of women warriors, everyone would be like, no, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, because those stories aren't told.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you look right now, if you come to the story of Mekatilili Omenza in Kenya, back home, the only story they tell you about Mekatilili Omenza is she was just, I don't know, spiritual leader that was taken. But if you actually go into the context of what
she did,
the power she actually held together, she was not just a spiritual leader.
Yeah.
She was, I think, the cornerstone of of the community.
And she was also a military leader.
She trained.
She was a general.
She would work out, train, go to battle with men, women, everyone involved.
Right.
And it used to be crazy.
Mhm.
Right now in every culture, in Africa, we have stories of women like Mekachililo Menza in positions of power in matters of military.
Yeah.
We had others in the spiritual realms.
Right.
After that, you go down now to the Igbo and Yoruba culture.
Right.
They had the
Nigeria.
sister courts, whereby back then there was these court systems that we have right now were led by women. So men used to be taken there, and the woman would come and say, "Oh, my husband did this and that and that."
Yeah.
Or two men would bring each other, take each other to go settle their cases.
Yeah.
And it would work that way.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because if you actually understand all these stories, there's so much that I once actually mentioned about the Maji Rebellion.
Okay.
So the Maji Rebellion
Yeah.
is a story, we learn it in history. It's like the Mau Mau
Yeah.
Rebellion that actually came out. So the Maji Rebellion happened in Tanzania
Right.
during German rule.
Right.
What we do not actually hear about it is the role of women. Women went to community, telling the story, went to community, selling the agenda, and about us having to actually come together, bring our forces together. What can you do? You can actually, or you have a couple of cattle, come give it to the army. Or what can you do? You can actually help cook, come. You can actually help come train.
Yeah.
And they would create these systems of military communities, and they would fight. The leader of that movement was a woman. We do not hear about it because that was the first recorded story of a woman being hanged publicly, and the German now trying to actually keep it under wraps.
Yeah, it wasn't a popular story.
Exactly. So they took it out
Yeah.
and just said,
"How
we did
dare
this to
you be
men."
defeated or intimidated
Exactly.
by women?"
So where do we actually come? Now that is what we read.
Yeah.
Having women as chiefs in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Having women as the largest African trade seller was actually Tinubu. Tinubu
Okay.
was a woman. She was a Nigerian. She was actually one of, if you go into history, she used to capture slaves,
Yeah.
Africans, and sell them as slaves. She created such a large network in West Africa that she had access to almost every port
Yeah.
in West Africa.
Okay.
She could send out almost every, I think even the largest amount of slaves from West Africa actually went through her
Yeah.
because she was that powerful.
So women are not just mothers; they also
Exactly.
would sell
Ooh,
slaves. They were
they-
slave traders. Women have the
King
capacity
makers,
to
queen
be
makers.
evil, and I like that because it humanizes women.
Exactly.
Yeah, we are not,
Not
just
soft,
I mean, it's beautiful to be soft and loving,
It
but
is powerful.
humanizing women also means exploring all the realistic different parts of women, so that we don't also limit ourselves. Oh, a woman is driving shock. I get so intrigued when I get into a car and there's an Uber driver that's a lady.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Still
because
surprises you till now.
Makanga tumezoea mi naishiga shie. I decided to go there with my country people because uko ndio nilizaliwa. I'm a Murema girl. And then also matatu drivers. That's the one that intrigues me the most because I get shocked every time I look and it's a lady. And it's sad because it just speaks to everything you're saying, that we don't expect women to be in these positions anymore. So that flip you said was intentional. So there's all the beauty of, aside from all the roles that we know, women are nurturing, women are loving, women are great support systems. But also what we don't always know about women is that we are great leaders, is that we're strategists, is that we can be ruthless. So now when that switch happened, how has it benefited the powers that be? And I also want you to speak on patriarchy. You said it was okay. It was fine.
It was.
Feminists for 2025. Somebody somewhere is shaking. You're shaking.
Hey.
They're like,
Do they have a way to call in? Dogo would have
0799. Come on, at Power Radio. Get him to my DM, Caroline_Murote on Instagram. Come shout at this man.
Yeah. But first, listen. Have the humility to listen.
Yes, let him cook. Let him cook, guys.
Let him cook.
Okay.
So patriarchy, if you ever ask me, if you Google, just a simple Google of what is patriarchy. Patriarchy is a system. Now, it would say it's an oppressive system that is led and controlled by men in positions of power that works to exclude women.
Yes.
It's the same as what's corruption. Corruption is when people have access to
Power.
and opportunities.
They use it for self.
Exactly, for self. Now, what if they do not use it for self? So, in a sense of community, we used to have matriarchs. There's a common thing I actually argue among the bros.
Right.
They say, oh, in our communities, there are things that there are spaces that women were not supposed to actually be part of. And I'm like, which spaces?
Yeah.
For example, they would say, men going to the river, boys going to the river.
Okay.
The circumcision
Okay.
process of it. And I'm like, are you sure? Right now, if you go to the Maasai community, in the Ma community, women are actually the ones women elders and men elders are the one who actually talk to the men.
Okay.
The Morans telling them this is what's happening before they go out.
Yes.
Go stay in the forest. They're the ones who are advising them.
Yeah.
Because women in society were seen, in African common society, they were seen as holders of culture.
Yes.
They were the thread that actually created.
They were the gatekeepers. They had a very important role.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you say, when men are being circumcised or boys are being circumcised, women were there. Years after years of stories, community of stories. It's a very common analogy. They were there. So me saying patriarchy actually existed, not that it existed back then. Right now, if you had things that your great grandmother went through, compared to right now, you'd be like, that's oppression.
Yeah.
She did what? She took care of 12 family members and the 17 brothers of their husband who came to eat there, and you're like, that's oppression.
Yeah.
But in the sense was it really oppression?
Because they also did not have the same systems
Exactly.
that we had now. As a woman, you're not working alone in the home.
Exactly.
It's you, your children, and your husband, but you're the decision maker when it comes to the home.
Yes.
So I understand those narratives because I was privileged to have a few conversations with my grandmother about the way they grew up. She grew up in colonial times, but she had plenty of stories about how women were proud to be mothers, how the more children you brought into the world, you were seen as a blessing, and it was not something that was imposed upon you. It was something that you were proud to do.
Exactly.
So outside of formal education, outside of colonial systems, our stories were very different. And I think the reason why patriarchy is now what it is now, toxic and oppressive, is because we see gender in the lenses of capitalism, corruption, and basically colonization.
Women down.
Toxic systems which are not what our cultures used to be. So I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. So I would then ask, can we flip it? Because people say, okay, no, if we're to decolonize, then do we stop speaking English? Oh, guys, at this point, if we're to decolonize, do we, run around naked? First of all, please, I would be very happy, to not have to pick out an outfit every morning. Genuinely speaking, if that's what it means to be a savage, then let me savage away. But what does it look like realistically for us to decolonize spaces of leadership, spaces of cultural inclusion, spaces of freedom and expression for women in Africa, in Kenya, in Africa, in the world today? What would you say as an Africanist, as a community developer? What can we do, or should we just get tired?
So the first question, I think the most important, is what are we decolonizing from?
Okay.
You have to understand what you're working from. And I've mentioned beautiful story, women were actually in the center. Patriarchy, matriarchy all existed, coexisted. It was a system that was actually placed to hold the community in order.
Right.
Because women had the power to banish men. They're like, there's a stories about in the western part of Kenya, whereby if you'd rape a young girl, the women were the ones who would flog you till you die.
Yeah.
Like, it was serious case back then. So what we decolonize from is colonialism. Comes the guys, white saviors come, the teachers, the nurses, the missionaries come, and they brought this idea of the Victorian woman. They're from England, their basis of, or their idol of what a woman was like Queen Elizabeth, and the mothers before that. And what was she? She would wear heels, long dresses, a little cute little bag on the side, big white pearls, and some hair that was, I don't know, whatever it was done for. That was their standard of what a woman looked like.
Yes.
And they come here, and their first introduction is they come and say, we want to heal you. And a woman stands from there and she's like, I have been learning medicine for 80 years. I started
I'm a
learning
medicine woman.
since I was 8.
I'm a rainmaker.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. I'm a spiritual leader.
That's my Tswana name. This is so irrelevant, but I am Mapula, which means mother of rain. So I'm not saying I'm a rainmaker, but I'm saying if it comes
You
to
can
it,
make it rain.
don't play with me. Come on,
it's
come
raining.
on. But okay, yeah. So they come in there. They want to speak smack. They want to say we don't know what we're talking about. We are
Exactly.
medicine women. We have the skills. Yeah.
Jomo Kenyatta, the first whatever president of this country,
Did you say whatever?
the president of the Republic of Kenya.
We're
If you understand
fighting.
history, there's a lot of that.
He said. He said I didn't come to play.
Do not abduct me. But if you do abduct me, I can eat juice.
Ooh, the
Some good food inside.
youth are not happy.
So,
Okay.
no, if you actually understand in history, he just inherited the same and he actually pushed it.
Okay.
He wrote a book, Facing Mount Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, he gives a defense. Because he was being asked, why do you think a woman is rightfully allowed to actually treat another one? And his defense was, there's something called apprenticeship in Africa. You'd, as young as 8 years old, start working with your grandmother.
Yeah.
And from 8 years old, she'd work you in the mountain and the forest and show you this is what we
Yeah,
use
the
for
herbs,
this and that and that.
the
Exactly.
everything.
And this is how you operate. In the 1880s, in the 1800s, Uganda used to carry out successful CS.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
dissection and
Yeah.
everything was okay.
Yeah.
We think
they
it's
used to
new
do the
thing.
same in West Africa as well.
Exactly.
In Senegal, in Ghana.
From 1600.
Yeah.
And we think it's something actually surprising.
Yeah.
So that comes, and the idea is they find women that sit on men, women that would drink Muratina, whatever traditional beers
Yeah,
with men.
yeah.
And that was a little bit surprising to them.
Yeah. It was barbaric,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their own view is Queen Elizabeth.
dainty, and ugh.
Yeah. And then if you move it now to the other side of whatever it is they believed as a religion,
Yeah.
they had the likes of the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
She was calm, she was
Yeah.
sweet, she
Yeah.
would do whatever was needed. And they would like, this is what we need to now integrate. So the Victorian woman, number one, in the Victorian woman was only to be seen, not to be heard.
not to be heard.
Exactly. Your only affairs in the house was to only come and greet the guests. In Africa, it was different.
Yeah.
You are there in the seat. There was a chief here. It's either you are the chief or when your husband is the chief, you're the one advising.
Yeah, the Queen Mother.
The Queen Mother.
Yeah.
It's up in there. You are the spiritual leader. You're the ones who, every time the army, the warriors want to go for a raid, you're the ones who come, bless them, sing
Yes.
to them, do all that.
Yeah.
That they come and they're surprised with that. The next thing is in governance, women were not allowed that. They were seen as you are too feminine. You wouldn't be able, this is too complex. This is too
Right.
technical for you.
Yeah,
So just,
because they didn't have that view of women.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the other one was in governance or in the works that African women did. We had the warrior women, the women kings, the warrior kings over, so they were actually women, but they were calling themselves the warrior kings
Yeah.
of West Africa.
Yes.
Something that Hollywood is having fun with, creating movies out of that.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. So you see that and they come and they find women who are fighting. Like a woman would go proper.
Akina Karo. Don't try me
uppercuts.
out there. Don't mess with me. I'm a wild woman.
They would go receive a couple of uppercuts and
Yeah.
they'd like
Hiya.
wake up and strike back.
Lights out. They're like, "Uku kuna giza yenyewe."
And their view of women was your only role was confined to the kitchen.
Right.
The other one was women had wealth. They would sell slaves.
Yeah.
They would have land. They would have animals.
Yes.
And they would have property.
Yeah.
In UK, up until 1840s, that wasn't possible. Because they saw the idea that women would not be able to manage it. So what happens is they create missionaries and they say the only way you get access to these commodities or these places is if you go first to these Sunday schools. So the young girls go there. And then the nurses come and they say, this is how you dress with dignity.
Yeah.
This is how you sit. You first do this and you
Right.
sit.
Right.
A woman is supposed to sit this way. A woman is supposed to laugh this way. And they try to actually now, create a whole understanding around what a woman is supposed to be in the minds of young girls. And this is now our grandparents, the
Yeah.
ones who went and the ones who did not go.
Yeah.
They're all different. And they're told the English is now the language of the future.
Yes.
Uphold it.
The global language.
Exactly.
The language of the educated mind.
Pass. And
Yeah.
then they try actually now creating systems of integrating it into the culture.
Yeah.
And one way they did that, studying the Kikuyu as a tribe of how this actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
Something I used to actually say, I'll talk about it later. Kikuyu as a tribe was one of the largest tribes in Kenya that practiced FGM. People do not know that.
I did not know that.
Exactly.
I did not know that. I know it has happened, but I didn't know that.
Like in Kikuyu, it was so much deeper
Yeah.
to the extent of facing Mount Kenya. Kenyatta writes about it.
Yeah.
Says about this being an integral part of our culture.
Wow.
And he says if you face this out, men will not marry these girls who are uncircumcised.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
They're not whole.
Exactly. They were not whole. They did not go through the education of being a woman. And one thing we do not understand is it happened in the Kikuyu culture. It was so strong to the level whereby they even created a political system to defend it, the Kenya Central Association.
Okay.
They even wrote letters to the UK Parliament saying that do not touch this part of culture.
Bado walikuwa nasema msiguze Murima.
Msiguze from Kitambo. Msiguze. But who are the British?
Yeah, Murima.
Wakaingia, then Mau Mau happened.
Right.
So right now, whoever touched it, something's happening.
Yeah.
But how did they actually count it? Why don't we hear that part of history of the Kikuyu? They decided one way we're going to do this is all these missionaries, all these churches, the Presbyterians, the Catholics come in and they say the only way you'd be able to actually handle this is now take the Africans and give them a little bit of control in the churches.
Right.
So you start seeing African reverends being picked and being put in the position of powers.
African teachers.
Exactly, African teachers.
Yeah.
The Zogoto PCA church, it's the oldest church, the eye clinic, whatever. They said we will only train women to be nurses if they did this and that and that. And now it starts to create a whole system of re-education in the culture.
Right.
And now seeing that happen is now in such a system whereby the matriarchy is, they went all in on the matriarchy, cutting it by the limb, making sure that it's on the ground dead. And they went for the patriarchy and they took all the men, took them into these camps. They arrested the men, they killed them. It's all that thing. So having this is you only have the men who could follow suit being given positions of power. The women who did not really understand or did not have this kind of like strong attachment to their community because the ones who were supposed to actually lead them were taken out of it, decided to now join this existing community, to now be modern. That happens. So answering the question of what do we do right now? Understanding of now is that's where we were, whereby a woman owning land wasn't something big.
It wasn't a big deal.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You're surprised when a bird flies. And you're like, it's part of
it has wings.
Nature. Exactly, it has wings.
Yeah.
It's there. There's a brain for a reason. Women leading, women having positions of power, women being in positions to actually push and advocate and advise men. Right now, I think one of the most largest idol or largest image of an individual that we use is a former president of Liberia.
Okay.
The first
Helen? No.
Exactly.
That was it Helen?
Something Johnson or something.
Helen Johnson.
Exactly.
Okay.
We use her till now.
Yeah.
But if you understand, she did amazing in her country. And right now, us having a woman stand up even for a governorship seems like something deal.
It seems like a statement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only way we'd actually now try to counter all these ideas, number one, is educating ourselves.
Right.
Education is powerful. We are riding on so much of ignorance. We have so much deep ingrained ignorance.
Yeah, miseducation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let us address that first. Let us work, number one, to understand where we are from. What is our identity? Who are we as an individual at our root?
Right.
If we understand that, we are able to actually now embrace them. So you understand that this isn't something foreign for women. So you open your mind to now allow women to take up positions of power, to own land.
Yeah.
The second one is in matters of policy.
Okay.
Right now, you find that in communities there are places whereby a woman cannot own land.
Yes.
Surprisingly till now. So as working on policies, on legal closing all these loopholes, both in culture and legal, to allow women to build wealth on themselves.
Yes.
The other one is the gender gap. We hear the pay gap right now.
Yeah.
Me and you are both on the same role, but you earn less because...
Hey, give me my money, Jamie.
Because I don't know what's happening with you.
Yeah.
They say, there are a couple of days you'll not come to work because of this. And you're like,
want to fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Such things. So us understanding the point of women, inviting them to the table, not just this is representation of women that we have to actually agree. There are women who are in a position of power, but are they really serving the mandate?
Yeah.
It's surprising when we create women reps, positions for women.
Yeah.
It's supposed to actually be an open position.
Yes.
If it's a president, just stand for it.
Yes.
But the way we do that is we create systems internally, systems and structures that support you and enable you to go for that. Instead of us saying, let us exclude you from this. When you want to run for the president, you're like, you know what? We have a
Position
for a woman, exclusive position for you.
It's very interesting that some of those positions that are meant to be empowering, if you look into them, scandalous and controversial, but when you look into them, you realize there's also a reason why some of those women are doing really badly.
Exactly.
There's something about the system itself, not necessarily the women, because they are just as bad as their male friends.
Exactly.
They're all the same. There's no difference.
Yeah, they eat at the same table, speak the same language.
They do the same nonsense.
Exactly.
It's just, we notice the women because they are fewer and because we've been screaming for representation. So you're like, muna choma. But men have been doing that for decades.
Yeah. And it's crazy. The conversation about women in such positions of power, in such systems, you find that something will happen affecting. So there's something when femicide is on the rise, we expect such individuals to rise up and speak. But for reasons not known to us, either because...
It's a mystery.
Exactly. Either because there's something called party alliance, your alliance.
Right, and agendas.
Exactly, blah, blah, blah. Or they wouldn't choose me for the next role.
Yeah.
You have to dumb down.
Yeah.
And actually now brings a question here. Why are you then in that role?
Yeah.
Because if it's a role in a position with like a woman title on it, it means you need to be full serving.
Yeah.
Going all out.
For the people that you're supposed to be
So I
representing.
think one way of that is not just creating such positions at such a higher level, even at the community level.
Yeah.
Allowing women to be chiefs, allowing women to be DOs, allowing women to be county commissioners. Creating that system, not just allowing women, that seems like a privilege. Just all right, creating a system that would allow anyone, even
whoever
if an
has a
alien,
potential to be a leader, to lead. Yes. So, wow. So much has been said. My clock there is just running and jumping because this is such a deep conversation.
Exactly.
It's also a very broad conversation, and there's so many different aspects that we could look at it from. So I strongly believe that this is a conversation that should continue, particularly with what does it look like to be an empowered woman today. And I would love to have more conversations, so hoping to see you here again on Sheversations. Yes, but for now, just give the people a closing note, just about what you feel African women need. And this is talking to both the women and the men. What do we need to be doing for or with our African ladies so that we can see ourselves where we need to be, just as a closing note?
I think one of the most heartbreaking thing is, I always tell this to friends, we lack love as a people.
Yeah.
Like we are so ingrained in hate, so much to the level that you see somebody else that you think should not be deserving of such a position goes, and you create now hashtag community
hating
social channel
born
now
opposition,
going all in against them.
Right.
And it's so bad to the level of
I
think we have generational trauma. It's so deep ingrained to the level of, if you see what's being consumed now, there's all conversation about red pill, blue pill. On the sides of the women, there is now the trad wife. I actually learned it's traditional wife.
So much going on there.
That side, I do not want to speak about that side.
We don't have the time.
Exactly. It's on the sense, it's on the essence of us just understanding. So one way of putting it is, let's build love. Let's build love for our community. Let us be so intentional about serving our community, serving everyone. And one of the biggest thing I would say is a country that fails women is a failed country.
Facts.
It's common sense.
Yes.
If you fail the women in your country, the Taliban, whatever they're doing, just give them 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You just see what happens there. A country that fails the women and the children and the young ones and the youth is a failed country.
Right.
And this is the same thing that's happening to Kenya. GBV, femicide is on the rise. this is a fight that women and men need to be involved in.
Yes.
If you are women who are actually in a position of power, in a position of influence, having communities that addressing femicide, work to involve men. If you are men are everywhere. The men that actually really, really care about society and whatever is happening, if in that position of influence, invite the women, not just as a show.
Yeah, not for courtesy.
Exactly. Not just for courtesy.
Collaborate.
Do not just invite them expecting them to share the same idea that you do. Let them come in, whatever radical, with their radical thoughts, with their more...
Akina Carol.
Exactly. Carol, shout out. Whoever they are, whatever their idea is, that. And my last one is us creating societies, us creating safeguarded spaces. Not just, there's safe spaces to just hold you, to protect you inside.
Yeah.
But safeguarded spaces are spaces that safeguards your rights.
Right.
Even if they do not conform to what I believe in, I am able to create an emotional capacity, physical, spiritual capacity to accommodate it.
Yes.
So we should all, at a level, at our most deepest roots, create that for society. So yes.
Beautiful.
Love.
I mean, wow. I think the best way to cap that off is to say, if you feed a woman, you feed the nation. If you educate a woman, you educate the nation. And if you are a regular here on Sheversations, I have been teaching them a few Setswana words as a Setswana girl that I am. And the phrase is Mosadi ke thari ya setšhaba, that the woman is the pillar of the nation. And that just goes to just back everything that you just said. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a wonderful 2 hours. David, thank you very much. Yes, for sharing the good. Clear lumesoma, Yes, the parents should be proud. Please, somebody tell a friend, this man is educated. He knows what he's talking about. And I hope to continue this conversation.
Always.
Most definitely. Yes, but my people, Mosadi Kitaria Sechaba, please be remembering, and I'm going to be here, same time, same place, on Friday, and we're going to have a good conversation. Kama Kawa, thank you for tuning in. This is Sheversations. My name is Caroline Murote, and this is David Ntuwaithaka, and we are going to leave you the good sound of Manasseh Shalom Ambua, because we need to be making it rain. This is for you. I'll see you on Friday.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Makulione mainge tata songea pando balane bumiene nanoa kana unenge medo makona we mobango kona oseo wako ndwetembua ilane nando nina utano lakini kibinduni ngwetie kwea nenge medo makona we mobango kona oseo wako mwetembua sisi alayo wakana kaku uayako embeteke sisi alayo wakana kaku uayako embeteke meteka beteke uayako embeteke beteke uayako embeteke jisikana ningotona neweka madina ni mainge ngoya kwa ninoete nenge medo makona we movango kona useo wako nwetembua nenge bina wakwekea kitone kinge muno. My eyes are blind, give me your eyes, oh Lord, let me see.
Don't you give up.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.